We are all born with the capacity to feel, as well as to think. From the earliest age, we are shaped by powerful emotions, and fear plays a vital part in our survival. But when fear gets out of control, we call it phobia. To find out where these fears come from and how to treat them, we'll meet people who suffer sheer terror when they're in the grip of their phobia.
Oh my God, Mum.
It's all right, it's okay. It's okay, it's okay. I start getting very, very hot. My hands are freezing. I can't take a deep breath.
Please.
It's been very hard just getting here, but I think I'll go through with it today.
Phobias affect 1 in 10 people. A phobia is a fear that is out of control. They affect both young and old alike. Danny Matthionis is 10 years old. His phobia makes his walk to school a daily horror. Danny believes his fear of dogs stems from a single moment when he was a toddler.
When I was 18 months old, I was in a buggy and this dog jumped up at me. It didn't bite me, but it scared me.
We learn emotions far more easily than dry facts. The threat Danny felt at that moment was so efficiently absorbed, he still sees dogs as dangerous 9 years later.
When it jumps up, I think it's like going to bite me and hurt me and attack me. People say, oh no, you'll be all right. But I try to think to myself, it's not going to hurt me, but I just can't help thinking it is.
Much to his embarrassment, Danny often asks his mom to take him to school.
Oh my God, Mum.
It's all right, it's okay. It's okay, it's okay.
Look,
it's all right.
Let's go up that way, please, can we cross over?
It's all right, it's all right. Okay, just keep walking, it's all right.
No, I don't. No.
Okay? She's taking him in. Good. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
It's all right. All right, and drop hands now. Okay?
I want to be able to cope with dogs because I want to go to school on my own. I want to go around my mate's house. I want to go around my granddad's house. That seems to stop me wanting to go around my mate's house and my granddad's house and things like that.
Come on, Daniel.
Danny's grandfather has a small dog and finds it hard to understand why Danny is so afraid of it.
Hannah! Don't bring the dog inside! Well, make sure you don't.
Doesn't matter whatever size it is.
Yeah,
you don't say to somebody who's scared of flying, yes, but it's only a helicopter, do you?
Oh.
If they're scared of flying, they're scared of flying.
Yeah.
Whether it's a great big aeroplane or a light aircraft.
Yeah.
Danny's father has been hoping his phobia is just a phase.
I hope really that he'd grow out of it, and as he got a bit older I thought he'd learn that all dogs are not bad dogs. But he's got worse over the years. He has got worse.
Phobias provoke intense physical responses. Danny agreed to have his heart rate monitored by behavioural therapist Colin Blowers before and after seeing a dog.
Okay.
First, the dog was hidden behind a screen, and at this point, Danny's heart rate was 86 beats per minute.
Look in that direction.
It's not on a lead.
It is on a lead. It is on a lead, Danny.
But when he saw the dog, Danny's heart rate almost doubled as blood pumped to his muscles and his body prepared to either run or attack, the fight or flight response. Once the screen went back down...
It was very brave, I think. Well done.
Danny's heart rate was back to normal in moments. Danny's mother worries that his fear may in part have come from her.
I didn't know whether I made him anxious about dogs. Big dogs worry me to a degree because of their size. Being a mother and the guilt trip syndrome, really, that I kept thinking it must be something that I'd done to make him so scared and so petrified.
Although we don't inherit specific phobias from our parents, we can inherit their tendency to be fearful. We do learn very quickly to fear the things that have threatened our survival as a species. We learn by watching those around us. These babies look towards their mothers for reassurance, and because their mothers appear unconcerned, they treat the python as just another toy. Had their mothers shown fear, the babies would probably also have been scared. The same is true for other species. Monkeys brought up in captivity like this one have no reason to fear snakes. Their counterparts in the wild, however, will have learned to fear snakes from watching the reactions of other members in their group. In this experiment, the lab-reared monkeys watched video footage of wild monkeys reacting fearfully toward toy snakes. And after just 24 minutes, the lab monkeys had learned to fear toy snakes as well. This proves that fear of objects that are inherently threatening can be easily learned. Trevor Swales is fearless about most things.
I don't consider myself to be a sort of person that's afraid of many things. I'm not the bravest person in the world, I'm no daredevil, no stuntman by any means, but why is it this one particular thing that worries me?
Trevor's willing to get stung for his love of honey, but no amount of money will get him up a height.
It's the fear of falling. It's as simple as that. It's just the fear of falling. It's just with me all the time when I hike. When I'm up high, I can think of nothing else but the situation I'm in, and all I want is to get out of that situation as quickly as possible.
Trevor works in construction, and his fear of heights is proving a huge problem since the buildings he restores are usually more than one story. He's only really comfortable working at ground level, and knowing that his colleagues are happy to work at heights affects his self-esteem.
I always feel a little bit inadequate. I really do.
His brother Andy has made a career out of scaling heights.
Trevor's absolutely petrified of heights, and I just thrive on heights. It doesn't faze me at all, not in the slightest. When we were kids, Trevor was totally different. Trevor was into wildlife and nature, and I was into going to people's gardens and pinching things and climbing up trees.
Trevor's children, Jack and Amy, are equally fearless.
I've never actually seen him climb this.
No, well, I never have climbed a tree, not properly. Maybe one day.
Maybe.
Before I'm too old.
Well, we like to go on roller coasters, yeah?
On roller coasters?
Yeah.
Well, that's out the question at the moment. With me, anyway. You go with somebody else, but not with me.
Determined to get over his fear of heights, Trevor has come to a clinic in Munster, Germany. It's the only place in the world that practices a radical treatment for phobias. The treatment is called flooding.
In the flooding procedure, we try to take the most difficult item for the patient and expose the patient in the most massive way to this item. And you get the most impressive results by this way, if you make the patient to do it. Yeah.
The common treatment for phobias is gradual exposure, where the object of fear is introduced little by little. Flooding is the total opposite, massive exposure to the object or situation you fear the most. For Trevor, this will mean going to the highest point in Munster, the steeple of the Lamberti Church. Dr. Pavelzik will oversee this part of the treatment.
I think Trevor will feel quite anxious up here. He could probably hang himself out here, hanging above the height. I'm afraid that this bar falls apart, and in that case, my life would have been too short.
So how will Trevor cope if even his therapist is nervous? For people with phobias, flooding means living a nightmare. The decision to go ahead will be Trevor's, but once made, there'll be no turning back.
I've never been at this sort of height before, and I really don't know how I'm going to react.
Mm-hmm.
I'm absolutely terrified now thinking about it.
What you have to accept is that you don't really know what happens.
I don't.
This is the anxiety level. If you catch the sight of a height, then the anxiety, which is, you know, somewhere near zero, increases.
Yeah.
Will it increase forever?
I really have no idea.
The explanation is very, very simple. It has to do with energy. You don't have indefinite energy. Yeah, the batteries are empty.
Yeah.
What about the risk of dying?
What, you don't want a dead Trevor on your hands, do you?
It's not very funny, really.
No, I'm not sure of this.
It's great stress.
Yeah.
And for the moment, we're quite nice people. But in that situation, we won't let you go.
I'm going to put myself through hell.
Very good description.
Yeah.
It's time to make up his mind. Trevor is given an hour to decide if he will go up the tower.
I don't know whether I've got the guts to go ahead with this. I really don't. To be stranded in a sort of at that height, and to go through all that emotion and that fear, I don't know if I'm up to it. I don't know. I really don't know.
People with phobias generally try to avoid what they are afraid of. But this can have a catastrophic impact on their lives. Diane Lindblad is from Seattle, but she's living in Northern Ireland. Her fear of flying is so extreme, she hasn't been home to see her family for over 3 years.
My sister wrote me this sort of heartbreaking letter in which she said, I don't think you're ever going to come home again. And that makes me very sad, you know, and I thought, my God, it's gone this far that they think that I wouldn't be able to get on an airplane and go home.
How do you feel about the
Desperate to get home, Diane has decided to take a fear of flying course.
And I think it's going to be good because I think I might learn something, but I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. You know, I think it's the flight at the end of it that scares me the most.
Are you nervous?
Yeah. I thought about getting out of it a number of times, but I don't know. We'll see, you know. But I don't like going up or down.
The course is in Manchester, only a short flight from Belfast, but for now, Diane has to use other means of transport.
I'm going to Manchester today for my fear of flying course. And I have to get the train from Portadown to Dublin. And from Dublin, I have to get the ferry to Holyhead. Then from Holyhead, I have to get to Manchester, and that's going to be another 4 hours. So it'll probably be about 8 to 10 hours. And that's a considerable journey compared to, 50 minutes flying time from Belfast to Manchester.
Diane's phobia has been hard for her family to come to terms with.
When my father was ill last year, I really should have gone home. and he was seriously, seriously ill, I couldn't make myself go. And my brother said, I don't understand why she wasn't on the first plane home.
It's been a long day, but Diane's journey will only truly begin tomorrow. Trevor has decided to take the plunge. He's going up the tower.
I can't do any better than my best, can I? Trouble is, on heights, that isn't very good. Jesus, bloody wet.
With nearly 300 steps to climb, it takes more than 20 minutes to get to the top. At 350 feet, this will be the highest Trevor has ever been in his life.
It's just building now. It really is building. 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 Feel it. This is really scaring me. Over me.
Just stop a moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God.
Okay, how do you feel?
Please.
You know how it works. Just don't try to control.
Right.
Okay, we go on. Step by step, very slowly.
The only nightmare Trevor has ever had has been of falling. Up here, that nightmare seems only too real.
God. You don't have to take deep breaths.
No, I'm just like worked up like I
just get down here.
Bloody hell, fire.
It's more comfortable.
Oh, much more. Yeah. Makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Obviously.
Just,
bloody hell, what am I doing?
Because of his phobia, Trevor has always avoided heights. Now he must resist the urge to avoid again.
It's more the fear of plunging over this edge than the actual height.
Yeah, then I suggest you to move 5 centimeters further.
Oh, my God. I want to move, because I'm not just backing out that from my point of view, my back. Beekeeper's back. Gets us all in the end.
It's kind of these avoidance tricks, yeah. We know them.
No, it was. My back was starting to crumble. No, it was. I'm not happy doing that, I admit that, but...
yeah, that's what they all say.
I bet you don't have many bloody friends.
Hello, James Hill speaking.
Hello, Amy Swales, how are you?
Fine, thanks, Dad.
How are you doing?
Fine.
Today, right, I had a talk with this bloke, and they've taken me up a big church steeple thing.
Right.
Yeah? 300 foot up.
What?
What? Exactly.
300 feet?
It is quite an achievement, but tomorrow Trevor will have to face something far worse. Fear of heights is one of the top 5 most common phobias, and it's not just confined to humans.
Yogi's quality of life is really compromised by his phobia. Yik, tick, 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 tick. Yik, tick, 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 tick. Come on, you can do it.
Yogi is a Wheaten Terrier who, just like Trevor, is terrified of heights.
Come on, baby.
His owner, Susan, would love to see him get better.
Come on, it's okay, honey. Whoa. I would love to have him be able to sit by my side out, you know, looking over the mountains, but he just freaks out every time I try to get him near it.
Yogi's phobia is going to be treated by San Diego animal behaviourist Dr. Dennis Fetko, a.k.a. Dr. Dog. Dr. Fetko has his own radio show where callers can phone in with their problems.
And we go back to the phones right now. Susan in Del Cerro is up next with Dr. Dog.
Hello, Susan.
What's your problem, Susan?
Well, it's not my problem. It's my dog's problem.
Yeah, but ultimately it becomes yours, right?
Okay, then put the dog on, Susan. Let's.
Susan Becker is meeting Dr. Dog at the spot where Yogi has been most phobic. A building with open staircases and pedestrian crossings. Dr. Fetko uses behavioural therapy, and not only with his canine clients, he strongly believes that changing the owner's behaviour is just as important.
When I, the dog, exhibit a phobic response, you come to calm me down, comfort me, and I may very likely think you are rewarding my fear response. So my fear gets stronger because it is lavishly reinforced by the people who mean the most to me. So not only can owners inadvertently contribute to the beginning of a trauma, they can absolutely reinforce it from then on, and the phobia gets stronger and stronger because they're rewarding the fear. We're going to sneak up on that icky thing. Whenever he avoids the edge, I ignore him. He gets a lot of praise when he voluntarily comes toward the edge. Most people would do just the opposite, especially when it's their dog and they're emotionally involved. When he avoids it, you go give a lot of comfort, inadvertently reinforcing his avoidance.
We're going to reinforce all that good behavior, all that brave boy.
Yes, good for you.
That big brave boy. Come on, big brave boy. Let's go.
Susan is told only to praise Yogi when he shows no signs of fear. If she comforts him when he's afraid, that will just reinforce his phobia.
What a good dog. What a good dog. What a good dog.
Take him to the wall now. Give him a little break. That's it. He just gave us much more than we had any right to expect, so give him a break.
Now comes the moment of truth, the pedestrian bridge.
With the bridge, which is going to be a major event for him, as soon as he says, oh, okay, fine, let's do this, turn around and come back.
Initially, Yogi resists, so Susan looks away and ignores him. As soon as he takes a few steps on his own, he'll be rewarded.
There, he just approached you. Come back.
Good boy.
Yes! Yes, good boy! That's all I was waiting for, is that one length. What a hero. What a hero. Okay, he just made 3 weeks progress in 10 minutes. Look at this. Slack lead, looking at the thing that used to freak him out. And this is in minutes. Good for you, boyo.
So, can the same techniques work with people? Danny is also having behavioural therapy, and today is his first session. Unlike Trevor's flooding therapy, Danny will be gradually exposed to dogs, but any exposure is frightening.
Don't be nervous, will you? We'll take everything at your own pace, okay?
Okay, yeah.
There's none about the car park at all. You want to wait it out, or you want to get back in?
I want to get back in.
We'll sit back in till everybody gets here, yeah? Okay.
For Danny, today is the equivalent of looking down the barrel of a gun and not knowing whether it's going to fire or not. He could feel that terrified. Hi, Ruth.
Hello. Nice to see you again.
And you. Hi, Danny. How are you feeling?
A bit worried.
A bit worried. Yeah. How do you feel about standing outside of the car? Not too happy?
I'll be alright.
Okay.
Colin has arranged for a colleague to bring a dog on a leash to a nearby clearing.
Just through the trees there.
Is it on a lead?
Oh, definitely on a lead. No problem at all. That's excellent.
This is about as close as I can come, I think.
Take a couple of deep breaths.
I think
Do
I
that?
could stay here for a little bit longer.
Yeah, sure. That's no problem at all. How long has it been since you've been this close to her?
Hello, I'm Severin Suzuki speaking for ECHO, the Environmental Children's Organization. We're a group of 12 and 13-year-olds trying to make a difference. Vanessa Suddy, Morgan Geisler, Michelle Quigg, and me. We've raised all the money to come here ourselves, to come 5,000 miles to tell you adults you must change your ways. Coming up here today, I have no hidden agenda. I am fighting for my future. Losing my future is not like losing an election or a few points on the stock market. I am here to speak for all generations to come. I am here to speak on behalf of the starving children around the world whose cries go unheard. I am here to speak for the countless animals dying across this planet because they have nowhere left to go. I am afraid to go out in the sun now because of the holes in our ozone. I am afraid to breathe the air because I don't know what chemicals are in it. I used to go fishing in Vancouver, my home, with my dad, until just a few years ago we found the fish full of cancers. And now we hear of animals and plants going extinct, every day vanishing forever. In my life, I have dreamt of seeing the great herds of wild animals, jungles and rainforests full of birds and butterflies. But now I wonder if they will even exist for my children to see. Did you have to worry of these things when you were my age? All this is happening before our eyes, and yet we act as if we have all the time we want and all the solutions. I'm only a child, and I don't have all the solutions. But I want you to realize, neither do you. You don't know how to fix the holes in our ozone layer. You don't know how to bring the salmon back up a dead stream. You don't know how to bring back an animal now extinct. And you can't bring back the forest that once grew where there is now a desert. If you don't know how to fix it, please stop breaking it. Here, you may be delegates of your government, business people, organizers, reporters, or politicians, but really, your mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers, aunts and uncles, and all of you are someone's child. I'm only a child, yet I know we are all part of a family, 5 billion strong, in fact, 30 million species strong, and borders and governments will never change that. I'm only a child, yet I know we are all in this together and should act as one single world towards one single goal. In my anger, I am not blind, and in my fear, I am not afraid of telling the world how I feel. In my country, we make so much waste. We buy and throw away, and yet northern countries will not share with the needy. Even when we have more than enough, we are afraid to share. We are afraid to let go of some of our wealth. In Canada, we live the privileged life, with plenty of food, water, and shelter. We have watches, bicycles, computers, and television sets. The list could go on for 2 days. 2 days ago, here in Brazil, we were shocked when we spent time with some children living on the streets. This is what one child told us. I wish I was rich. And if I were, I would give all the street children food, clothes, medicines, shelter, and love and affection. If a child on the streets who has nothing is willing to share, why are we who have everything still so greedy? I can't stop thinking that these are children my own age, that it makes a tremendous difference where you are born. That I could be one of those children living in the favelas of Rio. I could be a child starving in Somalia, or a victim of war in the Middle East, or a beggar in India. I am only a child, yet I know if all the money spent on war was spent on finding environmental answers, ending poverty, and finding treaties, what a wonderful place this earth would be. At school, even in kindergarten, you teach us how to behave in the world. You teach us not to fight with others, to work things out, to respect others, to clean up our mess, not to hurt other creatures, to share, not be greedy. Then why do you go out and do the things you tell us not to do? Do not forget why you are attending these conferences, who you're doing this for. We are your own children. You are deciding what kind of world we are growing up in. Parents should be able to comfort their children by saying, Everything's going to be all right. It's not the end of the world, and we're doing the best we can. But I don't think you can say that to us anymore. Are we even on your list of priorities? My dad always says, you are what you do, not what you say. Well, what you do makes me cry at night. You grown-ups say you love us, but I challenge you, please, make your actions reflect your words. Thank you.